Now, the MPF has been implemented since 2000, and there have been criticisms all the time about a low return rate, high administrative cost, and it cannot effectively protect the retirement life of employees. So members of the public are asking that the government should review comprehensively the MPF scheme, or even scrap the MPF altogether, so that our retirement rights will not be eaten away. Well, we've had so many views like those, but then the MPF is still here, and for those companies which are connected with the MPF, they are growing in number. Another criticism of the MPF is the offsetting mechanism. What is it? According to the EO, when the employers are entitled to SP and SP are based on their service years of service, the employers can take away the contributions and the accrued benefits to offset the payment of LSP and SP. Madam Deputy, the SP was added in 1974, and LSP added in 1986 in EO, and the original objective was to protect employees if they have served for the same employee for a number of years and they are dismissed by reason of redundancy and other reasons. They would be given a compensation as a short-term relief. Their financial burden may be eased as a result. However, the offsetting mechanism for MPF means that employees, upon the departure from the company, the contributions of the employees can offset the LSP, SP, and that deviate greatly from the original objectives of LSP, SP, and MPF. I know of this example. Say, for example, we work in this legislative council. Our assistants, they have to contribute to MPF. One assistant, before December 2000, before the MPF was implemented, he was already serving as an assistant, and then he was paying up to the maximum amount of contribution. And some 10 years later, he entered his service. The employer's contribution is around $150,000. When the assistant was dismissed, the employer's contributions used entirely to offset the SP. Even if the counselor do not agree to the SP offsetting, but there is nothing he could do, and there's nothing that he can do to help with his assistant losing $150,000 in his contribution. This is a life example. Now, I have worked in the Hong Kong IED. My contributions have also been offset as well. These are very bad scenarios and bad practices. How can we tolerate them? Another undesirable scenario is that the MPF has adjusted many times the ceiling of the contribution. So the employee is losing out. The maximum monthly wage now is $30,000, and the maximum contribution is $18,000. Now the monthly maximum for LSP SP is $22,000. So the maximum that they can get is $15,000. Obviously, the MPF contribution of $18,000 is higher than the $15,000 entitled under LSP SP. So those who are earning over $22,500 a month, they may not get the compensation they're entitled to. The LWU in 17th of July last year, on the maximum contribution of LSP and SP, submitted a paper. The median monthly of the employees is $13,000. So the government did not recommend adjusting the maximum limit of the LSP and SP. But the coverage is very limited. And they do not cover the long-serving staff, and they do not cover most employees in the education sector. If we teach in subsidized schools, they may have Provident funds. But we know that for DS direct subsidy schools and contract teachers in public schools are also joining the MPF scheme. They are affected as a result. According to the C&S household survey, at the end of 2015, 20% of the working population, over 700,000 people, earn over $30,000 a month. So most of these will not get the compensation that they are entitled to. In the education sector, many of our teachers are joining the MPF scheme. Well, they have to join the MPF, and they have to suffer from the offsetting mechanism as well. And so they are victims. So this compensation is close to nothing. And some overseas experts told us that the MPF offsetting LSP and SP, the practice in Hong Kong is the only, well, Hong Kong is the only place doing that. And this offsetting mechanism has undermined the MPF as a retirement pillar and has harmed employees' interests and rights. So we must urge the government to abolish the offsetting mechanism ASAP. So I submit.